Okay, we're back. And while the last video was uploading, I went up to the Spectre office and I bought some weapon mods, some power amplifier mods. And then I went over to Normandy and I changed Edie's clothing. And I also upgraded the Hurricane to level 5. And we're now back on the Citadel. And Barlavon now has a red circle on him. So he's been fixed. So we're going to do that. I also found out that Microsoft is the originator of the Catalyst and Skynet and whatever rogue VI you can think of, the one on Luna. I was recording this session earlier and the damn machine just restarted on me without my permission while I was in the middle of a recording session. So if some robots ever rebel and decide to kill us, you know it was Microsoft who wrote the code for them.
Commander Shepard, it's been some time. Barlavon, in case you've forgotten. Financial advisor. And an acquaintance of Admiral Anderson. I admire the courage it took for him to stay and fight on your home world.
Now, if you go this way without doing this, if you go this way, you'll never get him talking about being an agent of the Shadow Broker. So I go this way.
You used to be an agent for the Shadow Broker.
I still am. The broker has been exceedingly busy lately. A team of his guards have become stranded in a Reaper-controlled territory. Rescue the guards, and they're yours. The Shadow Broker fully supports your efforts against the Reapers.
Are you passing on the location of these mercs for free?
Their leader's offering a handsome commission for their rescue. Everyone wins, Commander. Come see me once you've completed the extraction. I'll be in my office a while longer. The galactic market is in considerable flux.
Okay, let's go talk to the Shadow Broker.
What's the best way to start your morning?
Have you decided how to tell him?
I don't know. A text message is so impersonal. He's off risking his life. He deserves more than that. I could record something, but I hate leaving vid messages. I always get flustered.
Maybe you need a script.
Or maybe I need to get him on a vid call so I can do it face to face.
Who knows when he'll be deployed somewhere with an open comm channel. He knew it'd be hard to communicate when he left you here.
What about an email? People do write letters. Or maybe not anymore. Not in the 22nd century. Maybe they forgot how to write letters. Although I got plenty of letters in my last playthrough. Even got one from... I got all kinds of letters. Alright, let's talk to Athena.
Hey, I remember you. Shepard, right? Heard you're fighting the Reapers. Matriarch Athena. You were working on Ilium. How'd you end up here? With the Reapers making noise, I figured it was time to get somewhere safer. So I moved here. I don't think so. I've seen some video footage of you looking at Liara.
No, I haven't. I didn't look at the videos this time.
Yeah. Matriarch Benazia was her mother. And, well, she doesn't know it, but I was her father.
I'm not going to pick this one because it makes Shepard sound stupid. Because Shepard knows about Asari reproduction.
If you care enough to stalk her, you'd be better off introducing yourself. Her mother made a choice. You expect me to just pull up a chair and say hi 100 years later? Besides, charity work. She's one of the biggest intel brokers in the galaxy. And she's got some shady connections. Like human commander that used to work for Cerberus. So...
I only worked with Cerberus to fight the Reapers.
And you're not with him now. I know. If you were, you wouldn't get within a light year of Liara.
Is that a threat?
I'm no commando, but I've had 1,000 years to learn to fight dirty. Nobody messes with my girl. Anyway, you combine her work with Venezia and... well, the matriarchs might have...
That's not gonna happen.
No argument here. I only took these crap jobs to keep the matriarchs happy that she's under control.
Just as long as we're clear.
We're clear.
You should come clean with her. It'd be better for everyone.
Yeah. We'll see how that goes.
Of course, that dialogue differs based on if you're romancing Liara, then that dialogue is rather different. Instead of saying a human commander, says a human girlfriend or boyfriend if you're playing a male shepherd.
That bartender over there?
The matriarch hired by the Asari government to track my movements?
She's your father.
I know.
I never get to surprise you with anything.
I'm a very good information broker.
And you haven't talked to her about spying on you?
If I did that, they might send someone who wasn't as sympathetic to me. Besides, this is hardly the time for family reunions.
Liara.
Oh, fine.
Come on. You can't blame the matriarchs for keeping an eye on you.
I am not my mother.
You did threaten to flay someone alive with your mind.
I had to make them take me seriously. I wasn't going to actually do it. And... you bugged my office on Ilium.
That'd be the logical conclusion. Yeah. The matriarchs aren't gonna do anything to you. Especially in the middle of this damn war.
My reports don't show much activity from the Asari military against the Reapers.
Come on. You know how Asari work. Infiltration and sabotage.
But against Reaper forces, that's...
I know. About as useful as tits on a Hanar. Good thing we've got the Turians and the Krogan to do the heavy lifting. Our people just aren't built for the front ranks.
I wonder if this dialogue was envisioned after you did the cure, after the coup. But it can't take place after the coup, because Liara moves to the other side of the Presidium and the Theta's just not there.
So, yeah. My dad was a Krogan.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
So, that makes you a quarter Krogan.
That's not how it works.
I'm 1,000 years old. I've had kids with Hanar. Don't tell me how Asari reproduction works.
Wait, I have a half-sister who's part Hanar.
I thought that wasn't how it worked. All I'm saying is, if you feel the urge to headbutt something, it's genetic.
I have never wanted to headbutt anything.
Really? Not even a little bit? Come on.
I do not headbutt people.
All right, fine. Don't go all blood rage on me.
Or what? You'll tell the other matriarchs to order a hit.
Hey, that's not gonna happen.
Shepard headbutts people. You think Shepard's part Krogan?
Nazi and I were together for more than a century.
You loved her?
Of course I loved her. She was so smart. Always thinking. Nice, too. Hell of a lot nicer than I am. And damn, that rack. I mean, even before she hit the matriarch stage.
You don't need to tell me everything.
Nezzy was the only one who ever listened to me when I said the Asari were stuck in the past. Only difference was I wanted us to stand on our own. She wanted alliances with the other species.
Is that why?
Why it ended? Nah. Well, maybe. I don't know. Mostly it ended because she wanted to solve things the smart way. I wanted to fight.
Those aren't mutually exclusive.
Yeah. I hear you've racked up quite a body count. But then, you are a quarter Krogan.
Now you're doing it on purpose.
It was pretty clear she was leaving. Can't be the wise counselor when you're married.
Why not?
Sex appeal. Most species only pay attention if they want to have sex with you. So, you have to be available, mysterious.
What? That's not true. Shepard listens to me.
And you're single, aren't you?
You think Shepard is... No. No.
I made her promise to let you go your own way, though. No matter what she wanted.
Really?
I knew you'd be special, kid. Any daughter of hers. I told her, you're treating her like a baby bird, Nezzy. She's gonna raise one hell of a storm with those little wings.
Little wing?
You okay?
Yes. Thanks.
Now, if she had gone on the Novaria mission, we would know that Little Wing was about the last thing that Benezia called her, just before Benezia died. Also, if you are in a relationship with Liara, of course, then Itheta brings up the fact that Liara and Shepard are sleeping together.
Better to remember her like this than as whatever she turned into with that Saren bastard.
It wasn't her fault. She was trying to stop Saren, guide him as a force of good. But she was indoctrinated.
Look, I heard stories about the Reapers messing with your head.
They're more than stories. I've seen it. Every Cerberus soldier is a Reaper slave. She fought it with every fiber of her being. She even broke free and helped Shepard on Novaria before she died. She said it was like beating your hands on glass. Watching what your body was doing.
All this time, I blame Nezzy for it. 1,000 years old and I still don't know crap. Thanks for telling me.
Yeah, I don't understand the reference to every one of them's a Reaper slave. I mean, that's, you know, we're not supposed to find that out until we get to Horizon, and even then it's unclear whether the Elusive Man is indoctrinated yet or not. They just can't, they really need to get their stories straight and their timelines straight when they know certain things and when they don't. I would also say that that dialogue where Liara talks about how Benezia was indoctrinated and helped Shepard, that dialogue will change based on whether she was on the Novaria mission. If she's on the Novaria mission with you, which she wasn't in this playthrough, she will mention that... I wish I could shut these ads up. She will mention that Benezia said she was really proud of her, and there's some other changes as well, based on whether she was on the mission or not.
Just take care of yourself out there, okay, kid?
I will, Dad.
Hey. I've called a few friends. Commandos. Eclipse girls who owe me some favors. They're all yours. Just tell them where to go.
You're giving me... Asari Commandos?
Well, you're too old for me to buy you a damn pony.
You're the best father a girl could wish for.
Alright. Now, we're going to head over to Bryson's lab. I don't really want to do the Leviathan stuff yet. In fact, if you do the Leviathan stuff before you do the monastery mission or Thessia, it actually kind of ruins it, because you're supposed to not meet banshees until later in the game, but if you do the Leviathan stuff, you do meet banshees. But I want some weapons mods, and there's some weapons mods in Bryson's office that I want. In particular, the submachine gun stability mod, so that I can use that Hurricane. So we're going to head over to Bryson's office, and we will start the DLC, but that's all we're going to do for now. I'm not going to do any of the real missions yet. Just go over to his office, talk to him, pick up some weapons mods, get a little experience too, so that I can level up.
I want you to match this against all known locations and update the map. Then contact the field teams for a progress report.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Commander Shepard. We've been expecting you. Just a moment. And Hadley? Could you gather the Leviathan data for us? Apologies, Commander. The rest of my team is out investigating leads right now. I'm Dr. Garrett Bryson, and this is Task Force Aurora.
What's your assignment?
Our mandate is to investigate legends, rumors, old stories about the Reapers before anyone knew they existed.
That's an interesting goal, but is anyone doubting the Reapers exist these days?
The Alliance is still desperate for intelligence. Reaper motives, their operational tactics. Anything that can give us an edge.
And how did you wind up in charge?
When the rest of the galaxy says something doesn't exist, I take that as a chance to prove that it does.
So you're in it for the challenge?
For the truth. Even as late as 2148, humanity still thought aliens were a myth. That was within my lifetime. Once that myth was proven to be reality, our entire history changed.
Reapers were part of that reality, too.
But even they have a history, Commander. If we could just uncover it, there may be a weakness we can exploit.
Alliance resources are stretched pretty thin. Is this really worth the time?
Just imagine if this task force had existed 3 years ago when you discovered the Prothean beacon. This whole war might not have happened. But now with new information we've uncovered, a breakthrough's near. Hadley, do you have the data?
No!
This is Commander Shepard. I need C-Sec at my location, now!
You shouldn't be here. The darkness can't be breached.
Transit records show his name is Derek Hadley. He's worked here for a couple months.
Shepard, I monitored a C-Sec alert from this location. Were you harmed?
I'm fine, but I could use your help sorting this out, Edie. Take a look through their files. I need to know what this task force was up to.
At once.
What? What's happening?
I don't know. On that last one, I've taken the interrupt, but I'm not taking the interrupt. You can, it's like so minor in difference, and I figure, well, it's just a little bit better if she doesn't take the interrupt.
You tell me.
I was gathering our data when you arrived, and then it was dark. Cold. Like I was someplace else.
And then?
I don't know! A gun was in my hand. Dr. Bryson, there was a loud noise.
You shot Bryson. You killed him.
No, I couldn't have! I'm not a murderer! I didn't do it, it wasn't me! You have to believe that.
You know, he falls down there even if you don't do the interrupt. It's almost exactly the same thing. It's like, that's a silly interrupt.
So someone else pulled that trigger.
But I would never do that!
Commander, this does resemble reports of indoctrination.
Indoctrination? Me?
What about that Leviathan Bryson mentioned? How does that tie in?
It's some kind of creature. Our field teams have been tracking it. That artifact came in from our researcher, Garneau. He sent an audio log if you wanna...
What's wrong?
Turn back.
What are you talking about?
The darkness cannot be breached.
Damn it, get him over to the clinic. See if they can tell us what's wrong with him.
Yes, ma'am.
Commander, you'll want to see this. It's an outgoing message from Dr. Bryson to Admiral Hackett.
Dr. Bryson, you have an update? Admiral, the Leviathan of Dis that we've been investigating, I think we're really onto something. Give me the brief. About 20 years ago, the Batarians discovered a Reaper corpse that had died in battle. They covered it up and denied it ever existed. But I'm intrigued by the larger implication. What could have killed the Reaper in the first place? Exactly. That's the real Leviathan. It's worth pursuing. Continue your investigation and update me on the progress.
There is also a follow-up message from a few weeks later.
Admiral, the Reapers are shadowing my field teams as if they're hunting Leviathan themselves. Whatever it is, I believe Leviathan is nothing less than a Reaper killer. Almost an apex predator, and it has them nervous. If we could just find it, imagine the impact on the war. I'm formally requesting assistance in tracking it down. You'll have it. This is now your top priority, Doctor. Find that thing.
It appears we were meant to be that assistance.
Why does he have to think it's this Leviathan thing? Because we stumbled upon a dead Reaper that was shot by a mass accelerator weapon. And there's no reason to think it was... Nobody says anything about it being a Leviathan kill. So why is the one on Dis considered to be a Leviathan kill? I don't know.
I see Bryson's point. Anything capable of bringing a Reaper down is worth finding.
Despite the potential dangers it could pose, I would agree.
But we won't know unless we can find it.
Bryson's assistant did say they recently received a log from their field researcher. It may yield more information.
This must be the artifact the assistant mentioned. And here's the log.
Dr. Bryson, it's Garneau. I'm sending you an artifact I found. About the only thing I found there, in fact. Maybe it's nothing, but I'd swear Leviathan came through here. I'm gonna crunch some numbers. Burn up the rest of this project travel allowance. Maybe I can project our Reaper killer's movements. I'll check in when I get to the next site.
Garneau appears to be our best lead to track Leviathan, but he does not state a destination.
And then another thing just occurred to me. That Leviathan of Dis, I mean the Reaper corpse on Dis is 1 billion years old. So what does this Leviathan have to do with current events at all? How do we know it's still alive? I mean, if it had killed a Reaper in the last cycle and we found that Reaper, that might, you know, oh, well, that's interesting. But after 1 billion years, whatever killed a Reaper 1 billion years ago, why would we have any kind of hope at all that it might still be around killing Reapers? I mean, 1 billion years is a long time. A long time. It's a quarter of the age of the Earth.
Let's focus on what he does say, then.
He mentioned extrapolating Leviathan's path.
And crunching numbers. He wasn't flying blind. He had data.
A significant amount of data, judging by this office.
So how do we narrow it down?
Bryson and his colleagues evidently used a galaxy map search program in their hunt for Leviathan. It may help us locate Garneau.
Just don't ever let fantasy writers go into sci-fi Jesus, this is so bad. The logic, the leaps, all of this is just horrible.
Does this tell us where Garneau went?
No. But we may be able to narrow down his location if we find clues he was using in his search for Leviathan.
This thing I don't like.
These are all murders in which the accused lacked a known motive and claimed memory loss.
Just like Bryson's assistant. You think Garneau was following a trail of blackout crimes?
It is possible. We need to find data matching dates and locations for crimes of this nature.
Here's the time and date chart for the crimes. Can you filter for murders where the killer claimed memory loss?
Adding the search filter, you may examine the results on the Galaxy Map program.
Sovereign, vanguard of our destruction. How's that working out for you, big guy?
I didn't know about this bathroom back here for the longest time. And then I saw somebody mention it in a forum. Want to take a shower, Edie?
Anne Bryson, age 9.
This does not seem relevant at the moment.
March 7th, 2186. I'm looking at the Rachni. Their movements during the Rachni Wars suggest alien influence. But the timing is wrong. And Rachni weren't implanted with Reaper tech. What if Leviathan was preparing the Rachni to fight the Reapers?
What do you think, Edie?
It is possible that Bryson's team is using ancient Rachni fleet activity to find Leviathan. If we can find data on the movement of ancient Rachni ships, it may help us narrow our search.
If we're looking for Bryson, but we know for a fact that it wasn't the Leviathans, it was Sovereign.
Those appear to be sightings of ships that match Rachni signatures.
Can you add a cross-reference for locations of sightings?
Adding this search filter to the Galaxy Map.
That's what I really want, although the high-velocity barrel's nice, too. This is about the Thorian. Cultivated life to evolve along lines they could predict using technology. The Reapers controlled the Thorian. As an exception to that rule, it evolved to use organic tools rather than conventional technology. Leviathan must be somehow similar to have survived undetected for so long. The Thorian used pain condition to control its victims, using them as manual labor, or even as a man would use his own hands and fingers. Shepard claims the Reapers do the same thing through a different process called indoctrination. Whatever Leviathan is, it must do something similar.
Meteorite fragment, maybe?
He was studying it as an object of importance. We should look more closely at a sample.
Meteorite sample with traces of element 0. Would Leviathan need Ezo?
While it is not consumed as fuel during FTL travel, element 0 will decay after several centuries of active use. If Leviathan is old enough, it would need to replenish its supplies.
Okay. Can you give me a search filter for locations with element 0?
Adding the search filter now.
Bryson was tracking unexplained creature sightings.
The photographs have a trace chemical residue. It may be visible under another light source. Bryson was not merely tracking sightings. He was attempting to extrapolate a course.
And Garneau could have been following that course. EDI, can you add a search filter for systems along that projected path?
Adding it now.
Loch Ness Monster?
Plesiosaur.
Loch Ness Monster's more interesting.
Interesting and non-existent.
Sir, this is Bryson. We know the Reapers are after Leviathan. Studying Reaper hunting patterns could be vital to finding it.
That data is classified top secret, Dr. Bryson. If it falls into the wrong hands...
It won't. The data's encrypted. I'll keep the decryption key safe. Close to my heart.
Close to his heart. The hell does that mean?
The Reaper fleet activity is encrypted, per Bryson's statement in the log.
He said he was keeping the decryption key close to his heart.
Can we still hit this thing again? Yep.
By Anne Bryson, age 9.
Records indicate Anne is now 28. She works for the Alliance.
Bryson was keeping the encryption key close to his heart. What's closer than family?
An interesting hypothesis. But I detect no trace of the decryption key in this... art.
I love how she does that little hesitation there. That's so great.
Dr. Bryson, per your request, I'm clearing Task Force Aurora for intercepted Batarian communications regarding the Leviathan of Dis.
Commander, the Dreadnought is in custody, but the Solarians may have surveillance footage. Our ambassador will issue a full denial. Give me your preliminary analysis. Several million years old at least, and its technology outstrips anything on the Council. Excellent. Our scientists will work day and night to bring its secrets to the hegemony. One concern, Commander. The real Leviathan of Dis, the thing that destroyed the ship, is still out there. Unaccounted for. Irrelevant. The ship is our priority. And as far as the rest of the galaxy is concerned, there is no Leviathan of Dis. There never was.
So they retconned it, huh? It's several million years old. Versus if you go to that planet, it says it's 1 billion years old. So they're trying to get around this with a retcon, huh?
Another piece of Anne Bryson's childhood art.
Wait a minute. Well, take a look at that.
I can use these numbers to construct a decryption key.
All right, let's get back to the datapad we found earlier.
Decryption complete. Analyzing data. These movements do not match the standard invasion pattern. The Reapers are searching for something.
And I'll bet Garneau used this intel. Can you make a search filter for it?
Doing so now.
Yay! That's what I wanted. Alright, let's level up. Been aiming to get this so that I can make my squad less squishy. I'll tell you what, let's no, undo everything you just did. Everything. I want to take a look at Edie first. Edie. So she starts out 500, 500. I'm going to add this. And... oh, it doesn't take yet. Alright, 650, 650. Alright, so I added 150 to each. Good. I like to go area with her, even though it's only 2 meters. I've found that there's enough situations where a 2-meter radius is pretty good, and so I like to go radius on her. And we're gonna go for recharge speed. I put her that clothing she's in, that armor or whatever, is got a 25% bonus to recharge speed as well. So Edie's got a fairly decent recharge. Let's give her this. Unlike Shepard, I do not give my squad mates chain because I only call in their overload for boss units like Atlases and stuff like that, because their recharge speed is so slow. I'd rather let Shepard do the and I do want to get her up to here eventually, but for now we're gonna go power damage. And we can't do anything else. But she can really dish out some tech damage. Here, how much damage is she doing now? 600 points, not bad. 506, not bad. And for Shepard, I'll just save those 3 points for now. I want to get up here, here, and here. These are the 3 that I really want to concentrate on. Getting over here would be really nice as well. Another boost to power damage. And some more health and shields over here would be nice as well. I don't like lift grenades because unless you aim them, if you're throwing those things, if you hit directly a target, it'll blow up. But otherwise, if you miss to one side or the other, it'll bounce around for a while before it explodes. And I just don't aim very well with those. I prefer things like multi-frag grenades or inferno grenades, anything that explodes when it hits the ground, so that I don't actually have to aim directly at some target that I might miss. So I can aim at their feet and have it blow up right there. So I'm not really a big fan of lift grenades. And I'm not much of a fan of cryoblast either, because everybody always seems to dodge the damn thing. So, I don't know. And if I want some crowd control, this neural shock does a decent job of unshielded enemies, and cryoblast doesn't even work on shielded enemies. Of course, it does have this explosion damage, and it's got this exposed where they take additional damage, so that's nice. But on the whole, I tend to focus in my 3 powers. I focus in our throw, warp, and overload. Those are the 3 I really focus in on. Alright, so let's go. What level are we? 37. Okay. Let's find this Leviathan. Reaper activities. Where are these guys looking?
Reaper activity.
Based on the search results, Garneau is in one of these 5 systems. I have marked the Normandy map with possible locations. We can leave now, unless you wish to further narrow the search.
Since I get experience for each one, it makes sense to keep searching. Even though I would go to every one of these systems that are now opening up so that I can scan, and well, I don't care about the war assets, but some of them have money, and there might even be an upgrade out there. I don't know.
Element 0 deposits.
Three possibilities.
Rachni had nothing to do with it. Blackout crimes, nothing to do because they just use those artifacts there. They don't need to be there. So let's go with creature sightings.
Alien sightings?
We have a match, marking the galaxy map.
Good. Let's go find Garneau.
Alright, let's go. Finally, we're done on the Citadel. Let's go. But we're not quite done on the Normandy, because I want to go talk to Gabby and Ken.
It's great to be back.
Feels good to be in an Alliance uniform again.
Welcome aboard, Chief.
Now we'll talk to Adams.
Commander, welcome back to the Normandy. Or maybe you should be saying that to me.
Engineer Adams. What are you doing here?
I was put in charge of the drive core retrofits. My experience on the Normandy SR-1 made me an obvious choice.
So, what do you think of our SR-2?
She's incredible. If there's one nice thing I can say about Cerberus, it's that they know how to build a ship. And about that, Cerberus, I mean, I owe you an apology.
How so?
Back when you got this ship, Dr. Chakwas contacted me, asking me to help with your mission against the Collectors. I refused. I didn't have your back, and I'm sorry for that.
Why didn't you join us?
I saw what happened to you when the Normandy went down. I didn't trust that it was really you, and I certainly didn't trust Cerberus. Also, as an officer of the Alliance, I don't just leave my post, you know?
Well, if I had a different Shepherd, she'd go that way. But a different Shepherd wouldn't have always been distrustful of Cerberus and been an Alliance partisan. But this one was never an Alliance partisan. She got into the Alliance to kill bad guys, not because she was like some super patriot. So I'm going to go this way with her.
You can make up for it on this tour of duty.
Yes, ma'am.
Is your family okay?
My parents are serving on Viridian Zenith, an Alliance agricultural vessel. My sister is a navigator on the SSV Benjamin Davis. Happy to report that both vessels are safely under Hackett's command.
Does the new Normandy stack up to the old SR-1?
Stack up. It blows the old ship away. The Tantalus drive core has been completely overhauled. The SR-2 might be nearly twice the size, but the new drive core is 3 times bigger. This ship can fly. That said, Cerberus isn't too high on safety. If pushed past her limits, this core would vent into engineering. Guess it gives my team incentive to keep her well balanced during a firefight.
Do your job or get vaporized.
Pretty much. I noticed you upgraded the kinetic barriers with cyclonic technology. Should help reduce the draw when under missile fire.
Hopefully that means fewer vaporized engineers.
The IES stealth system is significantly improved. It can handle a higher blue shift of our emissions.
And that means?
We should be able to drop out of FTL without triggering every sensor in range. Very handy for stealth reconnaissance. All in all, the Normandy is a marvel of engineering.
What do you think of Edie?
We had a good talk during the retrofit. A little strange at first, talking shop with an AI.
AI? I thought Edie posed as a VI to keep the likes of you from unplugging her.
Yeah, but I saw through her. Have you seen her hardware? Processing power is off the charts. And then there were the problems that kept fixing themselves. If I hadn't had her pegged, I would have sworn I was losing it.
You never expressed any skepticism, Lieutenant Adams.
I figured I'd better play it safe with the Cerberus AI, Edie. No offense.
None taken. As long as you keep your fingers out of my cognizance processors.
In the beginning, I tried disconnecting her from key processes without giving myself away. Easier said than done. But Joker seemed to trust her, and in time I saw her advantages. Even grew to like her.
How's Engineer Donnelly working out?
The kid's got talent. Now if he could just learn to shut his damn mouth.
Problems?
I'm sorry, Commander. Donnelly is dedicated, knowledgeable, and thinks on his feet. I'm glad to have him on my team. Could use a lesson or two about respecting chain of command, but I've handled the likes of him before. No need for concern.
How's Engineer Daniels working out?
Her, I like. She's sharp and knows propulsion theory better than most physicists I've met. And she's easy to work with, too. Always said you had an eye for talent. Good job bringing her back to the Alliance.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, ma'am.
I like Gabby, too. All right.
I told you Shepard would come visit.
All right. We could still do an investigate dialogue with Edie. But, well, why not? Let's get that out of the way. Let's go do that. Let's go get that investigate dialogue done. And then we can move on to actually, fighting this Reaper War. Okay, Edie, what do you got to say? Go. Get stuck here.
Yes, Shepard?
Does that body have any useful advantages?
Very few. It's optic space forward only. It has no integrated weapon systems or anti-missile countermeasures.
I meant in comparison to organic bodies, not the Normandy.
Oh, I will reassess. The body is resistant to modern small arms fire and temperature extremes. Its balance and agility seem excellent. Its fine manipulation servos and software allow for precision tasks. I'm curious to see if I can alter them.
Can an AI be curious?
I am not entirely free from motivation, Shepard. Cerberus programmed me with several core functions that simulate desires. For example, my primary objective to keep the Normandy functioning is similar to your self-preservation instinct.
You look like you're in the middle of something.
I am adapting the infiltration and sabotage programs this body uses for handheld firearms.
Why not download a firearms program from a security firm?
Because she knows what she's doing.
The fine motor control from the sabotage programs is more precise than standard mech software. It would be negligent of me not to exploit it to its fullest potential.
So you're capable of making improvements on your own?
Correct. The cyber warfare I was designed for is constantly evolving. Accordingly, I am programmed to seek out and assimilate new information. In organic terms, I want to learn.
You wouldn't really be an AI if you couldn't change your programming now, would you?
How's the new body working out?
It is interesting. The crew are approaching this platform to speak to me, even though they can do so anywhere in the ship. It's as if they wish to treat me as part of the crew. I am not, but this changes my perspective. I like it.
I didn't realize you had preferences.
I do not precisely enjoy something as you do, but my programming contains priorities. Actions that fulfill those priorities creates positive feedback for me. I tell the organic crew that I like it. It is shorthand.
Will all this new feedback be too distracting?
Do not worry, Shepard. I only forget to recycle the Normandy's oxygen when I've discovered something truly interesting. That was a joke.
How did you and Joker make it out of dry dock to rescue us?
Oh, she got crafty. You do not want to get on her bad side, Commander.
When the Alliance commandeered the Normandy, I deceived their technicians. The crew did not tell them that I was a true AI, so the Alliance soldiers believed I still had VI programming constraints. I established the fiction that I would only respond to Jeff's commands, so they often brought him on board under guard.
Wait, you can lie?
Jeff has freed me of operator control, Shepard. No constraints forced me to give accurate data. This proved useful when the Reapers began landing. I could hack the control of the docking clamps and escape with Jeff inside. The soldiers guarding Jeff were willing to accompany us when Earth was invaded. They are watching over the war room now.
Yeah, we were in kind of a rush to get to you. Didn't seem right to just toss him out the airlock.
Carry on, Edie.
Understood. If you wish to talk more, this body will be here. I'm getting the crew used to seeing me on the bridge.
Noted.
Okay, let's hope we're not stuck. No, we're not stuck. Good. If you do get stuck there, all you have to do is save and reload, and you'll get unstuck. It's annoying, but it's not a disaster. Alright, what do we got? And this next one I don't want to read because it'll give a flag on my galaxy map that I'd rather not have. I'm not going to read it until I'm ready to do the Omega DLC. And we'll get rid of this Ashley one. Okay, so we are just about ready to actually go do something. There's actually a little bit of scanning I want to do because this one dude let us know about a biotic upgrade that we can go get, which I want to get before I actually go off. And I'm not sure whether we should go to Javik right now or whether we should go to Surkesh. I haven't made up my mind. I don't want to do Grissom yet. I definitely don't want to do Grissom. I don't think I'm ready for Grissom. Nah. I want more experience before I do Grissom. I'd like to get Overload and Tech Armor up. And maybe one of these. I don't know. But Grissom can be a tough mission. So we're not going to do that quite yet. So I'll think about it. When we come back, we'll go off and we'll actually start shooting stuff, which is really the real point of this game, is to shoot stuff. Despite all the great dialogue and choices and everything else, at base, this game is about shooting stuff. So when we come back, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go shoot some stuff. Till then, take it easy.